Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Bus Taste Challenge. We have George Dickel, Cascade Hollow, Charcoal Mellowed, Sour Mash, Tennessee Whiskey, aged 3 years, chill filtered, and they touting that as an advantage. No longer being bottled. Well, like the website says, not currently being bottled. All right, and you don't list it on the website. They mention it in the FAQ, frequently asked questions. So gone for now, but could return. Just like Diageo, who is now Sazerac, who owns it. But Diageo had told me 3 years ago that they had discontinued Seagram's VO Gold. But then I saw new bottles coming in a store just yesterday, or no, Wednesday. Of course, those are aged 8 years, so if they discontinued VO Gold in 2017, well, that still could be 5 years that they're going to have it, 5 years after this year, because they have the age at 8 years. They could have just put some in the barrel when they decide to discontinue it. Anyway, the competitor is Beam Repeal Batch, non-chill filter. So they're saying non-chill filter is the advantage. So who's to believe? Who do you believe? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a brewmaster or a distillery master. They're saying it's great because it's not filtered. Diageo is saying it's great because it's chill filtered. and George Dickel developed that procedure. He was a pioneer in chill filtering. Okay. I'm not taking sides because, like I say, I don't know. This is charcoal mellowed. It's dripped through sugar maple charcoal. The Lincoln County process, Tennessee. They take the bourbon, they drip it through the charcoal, and then according to the law of Tennessee, they say it's a Tennessee whiskey. It is a type of bourbon, but it's a Tennessee whiskey type of bourbon. Emblem of excellence. Limited edition Jim Beam 85th anniversary since Prohibition's repeal. That would be 2018. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Kentucky 86 proof. That might be the difference in tasting them, telling them apart one from the other. I got a good deal on this guy. I got it for like $12.95 at Walmart. I've seen it as high as $17 at other stores, but $12.95 at Walmart. So I was happy. Got about 40% of the bottle left. I was really happy about this one because I got it for $8.99 a liter at Discount Depot. True story. I've been having trouble telling the George Dickel. I've had some mistakes so far. I've made some mistakes where I got it mixed up with the other one. Could it be that I don't know what I'm doing? Yes, but I don't believe that's the case. I think the problem is that I'm doing so many on par challenges right now that they cross over. What I mean on par, they're all like the same price point, same quality level, so it's very difficult. The George Dickel Cascade Hollow's good, but it doesn't stand out or differentiate itself. Like so many bourbons, there's so many what we could call run-of-the-mill bourbons that they're fine, they're nice, they're enjoyable, but they're not remarkable or particularly interesting like a lot of beers or wines or scotch. The same thing. All right, let's see what they say on their website, Beam Repeal Batch. I'll read all this stuff. This shows some old bottles. If you want to look there, it shows some old Beam bottles. Beams, Bond Beam Kentucky Straight Whiskey, like from the early 20th century. Remember, Jim Beam, the brand called Jim Beam, didn't hit the market until 1938. Although the company goes back to 1795, the BIM company. Jim Beam Repeal Batch is non-chill filtered for a taste that harkens back to the big, robust flavor of post-prohibition whiskey. It's leaning towards oak and grain. So it's grain at the, it's like a 5-star. Grain at the top point. Oak at the northeast point, fruit at the southeast point, char at the southwest point, sweet at the northwest point. But it's leaning more toward the northeast. Grain and oak. Character, aroma, oaky notes balanced with light vanilla and a hint of brown spice. Flavor, char and caramelize. And then they got a mistake here. They didn't leave a space. Cup. And they never corrected it. Amazing. All these years, 2 years, and they haven't corrected it. To enhance with sweet lightness. Char and caramelized tones enhanced with sweet lightness. You think these companies are real big and they never make mistakes on their website? Wrong. Anheuser-Busch had the wrong date listed for Bud Ice for years, and I finally sent them an email and they corrected it in a week. I could send Jim Beam a email. I'm not worrying about it though. Morning, Ron. Do you prefer Ron or Jay? Either one. Doesn't matter because Jay is my middle initial, so some people use that. How about a beer competition one of these mornings? I've done it. It's more convenient to do the liquor. The Beer Hound says, how do, Ronaroo? Hello, Bill in Orange County, California. So here we are. It's not daylight yet, but it's coming soon, soon, soon. The window's fogged up, though, because of humidity. The humidity outside is so high that any kind of cool air, like in the house from the air conditioner, is going to just make it sweat. That's how humid it is. Okay, so the Jim Beam. But you see, I just read a taste and character notices, descriptions, which were really not that different than the Cascade Hollow. From what I was reading, I'm thinking that's not going to really, because this one has the vanilla and all those kind of notes. So the only thing I believe that could tip me off adequately would be the proof, 86 proof versus 80. You know, the Jim Beam being 43% alcohol versus 40. You say, well, that's not a big difference, 43 versus 40. Yeah, I know. I'm just hoping that could tip me off because I don't know what else is going to. I don't think these are that different. Now, the Jim Beam is lighter. It's amber. Just a reddish amber wood color, brown, tan, whatever you want to call it. And the Dickel is a little darker. A shade darker, just a shade darker. I don't think I'll have to close my eyes because I'd have to really look at it carefully to tell them apart. But some of them, sometimes you do these and one is just so dark, it's brown. The other one is straw color where you can't glance at it. You're going to know. Maybe I'll grab my bottle and have a sip too, says Bill. Well, it's only 3:41 a.m. over there. Now, tomorrow I'm planning to go and do a taste challenge against Tom Sims. You say, I ain't never heard of Tom. Tom Sims has been around since I think at least 1956. There's a 4-year age, there's a 6-year age, there may be older ones. It's not too famous. It wasn't famous then. The company was struggling and they didn't stay in business, and Heaven Hill bought up the brand. They didn't keep the distillery. That thing was small anyway. But they gobble up brands, you know, like we gobble up our lunch. So, and you say, well, I eat lunch every day. Yeah, well, they basically buy our brand, seem like every day. So Heaven Hill has control of Tom Sims today. Same old thing, 4-year-old age, regular old run-of-the-mill bourbon. It isn't bad. I paid $9.99. It wasn't bad. You know, my friend David didn't want it. Or he was like, oh, that stuff's not any good. I said, to me, it's pretty good. And I knew. I said, watch, 20 years from now, I'll go to his house. He's going to still have that bottle sitting on the shelf, never drunk. I said, man, you going to ever drink that? I said, could I use it in taste challenges? He said, yeah, you can have it because I'm never going to drink it. Then later he was like, you're an Indian giver. You want it? I said, wait a minute. You could have said, no, I want to sip on it. I didn't care either way. I just hate to see stuff waste. Like, I can't waste stuff. If I have liquor, I'm going to drink it. Even the Ron Rio, you know what I mean? I can soldier through it. I mean, there are cases where I have dumped stuff out because it's so bad. I just didn't want to deal with it. Like the Four Loko green apple, I just didn't want to deal with it. I was like, I don't need this in my life. So I dumped it out and I deleted the video, you know. But generally, there's no way I'm gonna have something sitting on the shelf, setting in a cabinet, never gonna drink it though. No way. I gotta get through those. I go to his house, he's got these things sitting there. I should say setting, right? Setting is what you do. Setting is what an object, when you set an object down. It's hard to get that straight. But and I'm thinking, man, he's never gonna drink that. I don't know. It's just a different approach. It just drives me buggy to see stuff that you don't drink. Okay. Then he was telling me, we ought to go to Discount Depot. You can get that. And the Savannah discount only has so much of that Macallan 12 left. It's $40. I was like, why would I buy more scotch? I haven't even touched the 2 single malts I have. Really, what am I going to do with all this? He says, oh, you need to stop buying all that cheap whiskey and buy some good stuff. Well, I have bought some good stuff. And I said, well, I'm like, brother, you know, I can't do it. There's no point to it. There's no sense. Now, I have one new blended whiskey left, the JW Dance Charcoal Perfected. Okay, bought that in Mississippi back in March. Well, when that one's gone, I'm going to need another one to taste challenge these down. That's how I'm drinking them down. I'm taste challenging them, and they're slowly coming down their level. Then they'll be gone, and I'll toss them. So I might go to Total Wine and More and get that Old Thompson. It's only $7.99 a liter. You say, I bet that's going to be grim, going to taste bad. Probably won't taste too good, at least. Sazerac, they got a hold of it. Anyway, Old Thompson was some struggling little company and that had run ads in magazines back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and died away, and no one cared. It wasn't ever popular, and Sazerac bought it, and they got it in their portfolio. I'm sure it's nothing remarkable. It's an old bottle. But I figured, what the heck? I can taste challenge it, and then it's only $7.99, and then it could slowly bring all those down. I'm slowly washing out the American blended whiskeys. I don't intend to continue on with that forever. Now, it might take 5 years to wash them out, you know, to taste challenge them down to 0. But I'm slowly winding that down. Bourbon, no. I'm really going to keep, it's going to be like a recycler. I'm going to keep treadmill. I'm going to keep doing those. Canadian whiskey I like, so I'm going to keep bringing new ones in. Now, David said another statement that I said, oh, are you crazy? He said, Canadian whiskey is no good. I said, what? I just told him on the phone Thursday. I said, I don't agree with that. But if you don't like it, don't drink it. That's my approach to telling him. If he doesn't like it, don't drink it. But no one determines what I'm going to drink, and I don't determine what other people are going to drink. Makes sense, doesn't it? All right. But all the other categories I intend to keep on rolling. Canadian, blended scotch, single malt scotch, rum, gold and white and aged. Rye whiskey, especially rye, because that's a really delightful flavor. That's my secret garden. You know what I'm saying? You are the one category that's the best. The best. Rye whiskey, the best. Well, this smells so expected. Vanilla, oak, sweet corn, light char. What is it? Gosh, I don't know. Smells fine. Smells like the Jim Beam. It needs some ice. Haha. I never drank with ice, but it would be good though, huh? All right, now over here. Did I slosh some of this out onto the side? Yeah, I guess I did. Oh, that smells funky monkey. Let me go rinse my hands. Now, see, I think I'm starting to zero in. I'm starting to zero in on the funky monkey. What I mean is if it has that dense cone bread smell, sourdough bagel smell, then it must be the George Dickel. It's got a strange, what is that smell? You say lemon, huh? No, I don't know. Yeah, kind of like lemon, but that shouldn't be there. I don't know what the smell is. Ooh, that smell. Can you smell that smell? I can smell it, but I can't describe it. It doesn't even smell bad, but it doesn't smell like bourbon. I know what you're going to say. It's not, it isn't bourbon, dummy. It's Tennessee whiskey. Yeah, well, that's a type of bourbon. Hallelujah. So on aroma, I think that's the George Dickel Cascade Hollow, and I think that is the Jim Beam Repeal Batch. But now with the taste, shall we not? My confidence level is not high. If you think I have a high confidence level right now, you'd be mistaken. It's not high at all. You know, hang out, sip some bourbon, listen to Jody Watley. Listen to Lisa and Cult Jam with full force. No, it tastes vanilla oak, charred oak, nectar from flowers, all those things. It tastes like Jim Beam. Don't you know, Jim Beam has that green wood, like wood that was still green, and it's got that cellar mold taste. Cellar mold. Yeah, like you went down in a cellar and it was moldy, that black mold, which I wouldn't recommend getting in your sinuses. My grandpa built a bomb shelter, not personally, but he had it built 1962. He thought the world was going to be attacked with atomic bombs, nuclear bombs. Could be right, could happen. And I remember at one time they had beds down there and a toilet and sink. And I remember that, my aunt laying on the bed, because she was only 3.5 years older than me. Not even 3.5 years. So she was like, look, we could sleep down here. And I remember just looking at it. And then, well, nothing happened. So it was always cool down there. And my grandpa started storing potatoes. He had boxes of potatoes down there, keep them cool. But it had that smell, that moldy black smell, black mold smell, which is what this smelled like a little bit. That bomb shelter's still down there, but I bet it's full of mud because it rains, stuff washes down in there. What a mistake to build that. It was neat to go down in there, though. It was in his backyard. I never knew anybody else with a bomb shelter. All right. Did this whiskey turn bad? What I mean is, like, there's like a grape, like almost a sour grape taste. You say sour grape. Well, yeah, that's what it tastes like. Hello? I guess there's some sourdough bagel. There's not too much char. It's almost like the oxygen hit this thing and it got it messed up or something. I don't know. Can't explain it. Maxwell, good morning, Ron. Good morning to you, Maxwell, over there in the Russian Federation. Okay, I'm going to close this out. I'm confused a little bit. Not by the difference in flavor, because they don't taste alike. And I guess the one in my left hand tastes better, you know, because it's a little nicer wood, charred oak, and everything. I'm confused about why this Cascade Hollow seems to keep changing flavor, like every time I try it. Cheers, sipping dessert IPA. Oh, I mean desert. Sorry, desert. John Carl, hello. Thanks for watching. Strange sounding, says Maxwell. It is strange. Desert IPA. Okay. Thinner body too. George Dickel Cascade Hollow seems to have like a fluffy body. It's a weird one, Mr. Grinch. It's got a strange caramel nose. Did somebody dump Seagram's VO in this bottle? I think somebody tricked me. You little trickster, and you're making me mad. Somebody snuck into my house at night, and they dumped out the George Dickel, and they dumped Seagram's VO in it as a trick. Now, that's not right. That's just not right. Bizarro world. Okay, I'm going to say this is Jim Beam. Now, if it says CH, Cascade Hollow, I'm going to feel like a DB, a dumbbell, a dingbat. It's the risk we take to go live. Please don't say CH. Please don't say CH. I'm begging you not to say that. But here we go. Ha! Whew, I had it right from the get-go. It's the Beam. Is the Jim Beam better? Yeah. The way I'm looking at it, it's better. Is it worth the $4 extra? I guess it's worth it. You're going to get 25% less. Well, no, forget that, because nobody can go to Discount Deep. Most people watching this, like Maxwell's in Russia, he might be able to get the chill filter, Jim Beam Prohibition Repeal, but he ain't going to get it. He might be able to get the Dickel Cascade Hollow, but he ain't going to get it for $8.99 a liter. Strange sound in the background. Oh, yes. Let me go cut that off. Sorry about that. I forgot it was on. That's that ceiling fan. It makes like a cranking sound. Tells me this is a good microphone if it's that sensitive to pick up a background noise in another room. These mics can be really... Have you finished that bottle of Grants yet? No. The Howling Madness says. No, I haven't. Nope. I got a long way to go. Quite a ways. All right. Sorry about that noise. I apologize. So let's forget about the price, because really they're about the same price in a normal setting. I get these abnormal prices, all right? So I shouldn't even bring that up, really. It's just fun to talk about it, but I shouldn't bring it up. So you're looking at two products that are about the same price, and that would mean, and they're about the same age. Jim Beam, 4 years old, George Dickel, 3, the Cascade Hollow. So I would say it's going to take me so long to drink that Grants. Let me tell you, that stuff's not too good either. Let me say the Jim Beam is a clear winner. The clear winner. I'm sorry, George Dickel. I'm not planning this, staging this, or doing this to just besmirch George Dickel. This is a low-grade version. Okay. Cascade Hollow isn't. Abnormally young version. The number 8, the number 12 are aged much longer. So the George Dickel Rye is not really aged long at all, but it's a dynamite product. Of course, it's got to be aged at least 4 years if it doesn't have an age statement. But you see, it might be used barrels. That's the thing. It's going to make it just rye whiskey instead of straight rye whiskey. You got to remember that. It doesn't have to be the age that disqualifies. It could be the barrel. So it might be 5-year aged, but it's in a used barrel, so it would disqualify it as a straight rye. Still great, though. Fabulous, actually. And I got it for a fabulous price, that George Dickel Rye. Let me say that much. But the Jim Beam is running away with the contest this morning. It's killing the George Dickel. Sorry, George. The Jim Beam is really winning. Let's look at this George Dickel for the last couple of minutes. Well, it looks fine. It's kind of, is it kind of cloudy? Oh, I guess not. They said the Jim Beam could turn cloudy because it was not chill filtered. But yet, it's as clear as a bell. Clear as a bell. But it might be 10 years younger. That George Dickel, that thing might be 10 years old. Might be older. Discount Depot, they scrounging up bottles here and there. I think these things are auctioned off. I don't know where that would happen, but I think in Louisiana and most states they have these auctions. Like, you know, if a place goes out of business, they'll they're not going to throw away all the stock. They might have thousands of bottles of liquor and they're going to auction them off. I just get that feeling. Definitely sourdough, sour mash. It's a strange, I'm talking about, it's so strange. It's so weird. It doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. I can't figure it out. But honestly, you know, if I drink some Jack Daniels, it might be the same way. But I think Jack Daniels has a little bit more woody note. But I don't have any more Jack Daniels Old No. 7. I got the No. 7, the green label. I'm not going to buy more Jack Daniels. I mean, I'll buy some of the more highfalutin ones, but I can't just keep recycling these things. There's no point to that. There's no point. I did buy some more Seagram 7, but that one's that's the gold standard of American blended whiskey. So you really do want that. The George Dickel's fine. I mean, if you're drinking it in isolation and you're not taste challenging it, it's fine. I mean, I can't really denigrate it. But once you put it in the taste challenges, when things start to kind of go off the rails. And actually, these Dome Busters are taste challenges, so you have to take into consideration that things can go off the rails. Now, what's coming up tomorrow? The Tom Sims. Then Tuesday, I'm looking at doing the Bellows Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 4-year aged. Kind of run of the mill, but it might beat the Cascade Hollow. And then one that's not going to be any kind of taste challenge. I can't see how it could be. The Blanton Single Barrel. I mean, that's a $60 bottle. How's that going to lose? Guess what? It ain't. And that would be the shock of the century. And then to close it out, I'm going to do Stedman Select, another Sazerac product. Buffalo Trace. Hidden brand that you don't see on the website, but there it is on the shelf. Stedman Select. You know, I don't recall seeing it at Walmart last time I went though. Might have got Discode. They tried it, it only came out 2 years ago, but I bet you it's around. Big old glass bottle, big huge handle glass bottle. Age 3 years, 86 proof, kind of a oddity. 86 proof, but age only 3 years. That's Stedman Select. I think it's going to beat Cascade Hollow. And then we'll be pivoting into a blended whiskey. The JW Dance Charcoal Perfected versus Air Body. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'm going to watch the news now.